The standard modern Lincoln cent has a diameter of approximately 19.05 millimeters and a standard weight of approximately 2.50 grams. It is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, consisting of approximately 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper by weight. This composition is different from the older bronze cents produced before the change in composition in 1982. That difference in composition is extremely important when evaluating modern era coins because an unusual weight can sometimes indicate a planchet problem, a wrong planchet error, a missing copper layer, or another manufacturing anomaly. However, weight alone does not prove that a coin is valuable. A collector should use an accurate digital scale capable of measuring at least to the hundredth of a gram, and even then, the measurement must be interpreted carefully. Dirt, damage, corrosion, plating loss, or an inaccurate scale can create misleading results. For a normal 2022 D cent, a weight close to 2.50 grams is expected. A small variation may occur because of manufacturing tolerances and wear. A coin that weighs substantially less or more than expected deserves closer inspection, but that does not automatically mean it is a rare error. The coin might have been damaged after leaving the mint, altered by a person, exposed to chemicals, or affected by corrosion. On a modern zinc cent, environmental damage can sometimes remove or disturb the copper plating and create unusual colors or textures. These conditions can look dramatic but may not be recognized as valuable mint errors. One of the most interesting possibilities for a 2022 D cent is a genuine off-center strike. An off-center error occurs when the planchet is not properly positioned between the dies when the coin is struck. Instead of the design being centered on the blank, part of the design may be missing because the planchet was struck away from the normal center. The greater the degree of off-centering, especially when the date and mint mark remain visible, the more interesting the coin may become. Collectors generally prefer dramatic off-center errors that clearly demonstrate the minting mistake. A small shift of only a tiny fraction may have little additional value, while a major off-center strike can be considerably more desirable. The exact price, however, depends on the degree of the error, the preservation of the coin, the visibility of the date, and the strength of collector demand. Another possible error is a broad strike. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the normal collar properly containing the planchet. The metal can spread outward, creating a coin that is wider than normal and may have a flattened or expanded appearance around the edge. A genuine broad strike can be an attractive addition to an error collection because it demonstrates a specific failure in the striking process. But again, the difference between a genuine mint error and post-mint damage is critical. A coin that has been squeezed, flattened, or damaged after leaving the mint is not the same thing as a broad strike. Collectors generally prefer an off-center coin where the date and mint mark remain visible. This allows the coin to be identified more easily. A coin with a dramatic error but no visible date may still be collectible, but the market may value it differently because its exact identity is more difficult to establish. The percentage of off-centering can also be discussed when describing an error. A coin that is 5% off-center is not generally as dramatic as one that is 30% or 50% off-center. The exact measurement should be made carefully, and the term should not be used casually. A collector should compare the missing design area with the overall coin diameter and document the feature with clear photographs. The edge of an off-center coin can also provide valuable information. The normal rim may be incomplete in the area where the planchet extended outside the collar. The shape of the coin can sometimes reveal how the planchet moved during striking. These physical characteristics help experts determine whether the coin is a genuine mint error. Another possibility is a double strike. In a double-struck coin, the planchet is struck more than once, and the second strike can create overlapping images. If the coin moved between strikes, the second impression may appear in a different location. The result can be spectacular. Lincoln's portrait might appear duplicated or shifted, letters might overlap, or the reverse design might show multiple impressions. A double strike can be especially valuable when the second strike is strong and clearly visible. However, not all doubling is a double strike. The term double strike describes a specific striking event, while double die describes a die variety created during the die-making process. These are completely different phenomena. A genuine double die can be especially interesting because the doubling is part of the die itself. When the die strikes coins, the doubled design appears on every coin produced from that die, at least until the die is replaced or modified. This means that a genuine double die variety may have multiple known examples. Machine doubling is another phenomenon that causes confusion. During striking, the die can shift slightly, producing a flattened secondary impression. This can make letters or numbers appear doubled. However, machine doubling is generally not considered a true double die and usually has much less collector value. For a 2022 D-cent, anyone claiming a rare double die should carefully examine the affected design elements. The shape, direction, and location of the doubling matter. Collectors should compare the coin with known references and, when necessary, seek professional opinions. The date is particularly important because a genuine variety involving the 2022 date could potentially be recognized by specialists if it were sufficiently distinctive. However, the existence of a doubling-like appearance does not automatically mean that a new major variety has been discovered. Modern coins frequently show minor variations and striking characteristics that are not considered important varieties. This is why the numismatic community relies on research and verification. A coin does not become rare simply because someone posts a photograph online and gives it a dramatic name. The feature needs to be studied, documented, and accepted by knowledgeable specialists. Another fascinating possibility is a broad strike. The collar surrounding the planchet normally helps control the coin's shape and diameter during striking. If the collar is absent or fails to function correctly, the metal may spread outward when the dies strike the planchet. The resulting coin can have a wider appearance and may lack the normal edge formation. A genuine broad strike can often be identified by its expanded diameter and flattened edge characteristics. The coin may appear larger than a normal cent. However, the exact appearance depends on the stage of the striking process when the error occurred. A partial collar error is related but different. In this situation, the planchet may become partially trapped in the collar. One portion of the coin is struck normally while another portion develops an unusual raised edge or railroad rim appearance. This type of error can be very interesting because it provides a visible record of the interaction between the planchet and collar. The edge of a suspected partial collar error should always be examined carefully. The edge can sometimes tell more of the story than the obverse or reverse. A coin that looks ordinary from the front may reveal a major manufacturing anomaly when viewed from the side. Clipped planchets are another category that can appear dramatic. During the blanking process, metal strips are punched to create coin blanks. If the punching process is misaligned or if a previously punched area is encountered, a portion of the blank may be missing. This creates a clipped planchet. Curved clips are among the most recognizable. The edge of the coin may have a large crescent-shaped section missing. Straight clips and irregular clips can also occur. The size of the clip and the overall appearance influence collector interest. One of the important diagnostic features of a genuine clipped planchet is metal flow. When the blank is punched incorrectly, the metal behaves in a specific way during striking. The area opposite the clip may show a characteristic weakening of the rim known as the Blakesley effect. This feature can help distinguish a genuine clip from damage. Post-mint damage can create a similar-looking missing section. Someone could physically cut or break a coin, producing a shape that resembles a clip. However, the metal flow and rim characteristics would generally be different. Professional examination can help determine whether the coin was actually clipped before striking. A wrong planchet error is potentially more significant. This occurs when a planchet intended for one denomination or coin type is struck with the dies intended for another. The result can be a coin with an unusual weight, diameter, thickness, or composition. The presence of the date is often important. If the date is completely visible, collectors can identify the coin easily. If the mint mark is also visible, the coin can be attributed precisely. An off-center coin with the date missing may still be interesting, but its identification becomes more difficult.